You're now listening to the Something Good Podcast Network. Please press any key to continue.
Everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Couch Potatoes. I'm Alex.
This is Cap
Morrison.
And this week we're going to be diving into something we've talked about almost every week, but actually not talked about what we liked as children. We're going to talk about our favorite cartoons.
Just back back in the
that
era
we watched as kids.
Late 80s, early 90s, early to mid 90s.
The good old days.
Yeah, so we can do a quick round table. I'm 92. Cap.
87.
Chris.
89.
Yeah, so nice little spread as Chris was figuring out as we were kind of getting mic set up and all that good stuff. So, yeah, how do we want to kind of go about it? It's another kind of shoot at the hip episode that I say I like that we do.
Well, we were talking about how our two main go-to channels were like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon.
Mm-hmm. I had a few like everyone had the Saturday morning cartoons like Fox.
Yeah.
Fox had some really good stuff. TNT actually had a couple with Hanna-Barbera.
They would do exactly. Hanna-Barbara.
Oh, wow, I forgot about that.
Before,
back when Hanna-Barbera was badass.
Yeah.
Before Cartoon Network even, right?
Yeah, back when it was like...
Well, not before Cartoon Network, but before Cartoon Network absorbed it and started doing Boomerang.
Right.
Yeah, Boomerang showed all the retro stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what? I actually tuned into Boomerang not long ago, just went back by there. Fucking SWAT Cats was on there.
Fucking SWAT Cats.
What the fuck is that?
I remember SWAT Cats.
I barely remember
I never
that.
watched it, but I remember
SWAT
it being
Cats
a thing.
was a show that was the last show made by Hanna-Barbera before they went under. Before they became
shit. I was gonna say, let me look that up.
Holy shit. Bunch of fucking electric guitar riffs. It was a...
Oh, yeah. That's right.
It was cats. The whole world was cats. And... there was about two guys who drove.
This was Hanna-Barbera?
Oh, shit. I remember this
The Radical Squadron. Back when everything was radical, bro.
Fuck.
So they were trying to be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No, they were trying to be like Batman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond shit.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the art style and everything, those bold lines and colors and everything.
This show came out right when Batman the Animated Series was going strong.
I can see it
93, 94.
Yeah.
No pupils in the eyes and shit like that.
Yeah. They had pupils when you fucking took off their helmets. But
man, that's those like tucked away memories and thoughts. I have not thought about that show in forever.
Me neither.
You haven't thought about the Radical Squadron.
No, I missed
it's
out
weird
on
because
SWAT Cats.
I remember that in very vague terms because again, it only lasted from 93 to 94.
Yeah, it's only 2 seasons.
So I remember the merchandise and catching like a couple episodes in like syndication a few years later, but I just remember the merchandise.
This was made. Swatcast was made by Ted Turner.
Yep,
the guy on TBS and TNT. Jane Fonda killed it. She said it was too violent.
Really?
She said it was too violent compared to.
Come on, Hanoi Jane.
You fucking Hanoi Jane. Really? You're going to say, come on, Hanoi Jane? What are you going to do? Fuck up some more shit? Yes, she is.
But no, that's interesting, though.
Yeah.
I forgot that that Turner was behind a lot of this shit, too.
He made Captain Planet, man.
No shit.
Yeah, I love Captain Planet. I think that's...
I did not...
I'm a staunch Republican, but fuck, I love Captain Planet.
All right, well, before we go further, something I thought Cap was going to roll into, a good starter on this, were you a Nickelodeon or a Cartoon Network kid?
When I was really young, Nickelodeon, and when I realized violence was cool and storytelling mattered.
Around what age?
Probably 10.
10? Yeah.
Talk about 5th grade. Back when Toonami
Tsunami would be
pre
on.
9/11, Toonami kicked out and so much what the fuck is this?
This was kind of the primordial soup to Adult Swim on Cartoon Network.
I stopped watching Nickelodeon around the time Kablam ended or all that.
Yeah.
I quit right as Kablam was ending and SpongeBob was starting to,
I remember when
begin.
SpongeBob started, and you remember what George Bush said about SpongeBob?
No.
It promotes homosexuality.
Wow.
Well, you look at the.
It was the early 2000s, kids. Was he wrong?
Well, the thing is what?
And meme culture, SpongeBob definitely does.
Well, I was gonna say though is like in those early episodes, not as much, but they've made him a lot more androgynous and gay kind of acting.
He
character.
seems like he lives in a pineapple under the sea.
Yeah.
He listens to Jossie.
Yeah, and it's
My
like
little
that's,
androgen.
but it's like that's cool, but that wasn't present in the earlier episode.
No,
so it's kind of funny for him to have said that.
It's all slapstick comedy in the beginning.
Yeah, it's just silly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of the same way, although I jumped back and forth because with me being the youngest on the table, being born 92, I consciously remember watching shows around 4 and 5. So probably around the mid to late 90s is when I actually started watching TV.
Yeah.
So when I actually started watching TV, I was catching reruns of Angry Beavers.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was catching SpongeBob brand new. I was catching the reruns of Amanda Show and all that and Kablam. I'm kind of catching all of it at the same time. And that was kind of the weird time of me kind of stepping into TV. So I saw kind of the crossover at the same time.
I think the cool thing about like me and you more than me and Cap would have been like the golden age of new cartoons. Because me and him would still see reruns of Thundercats.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch it, but they were around.
But they would be popular. G.I. Joe, the old Transformers, stuff like that.
He-Man.
more of the 80s ones.
Yeah, those would be rerunning constantly because not a lot of new stuff was coming out.
X-Men, too.
Yeah, X-Men.
Well, X-Men was 90s.
Yeah, but X-Men was it for American animation.
Because I remember Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, the real MCU. Back when the Avengers was Captain America and Storm and Iron Man and Spider-Man. It is, there was the X-Men. Then you had the DC animated universe.
Oh, yeah, the Batman animated series.
And
That's
then
what I watched all the
Superman
time.
tailed in a little bit later.
Yep.
But that was about it to that time. But by the time early 2000 hit, late 1999, Toonami, boom, on the scene. And I'm going from watching Rugrats, which was fucking hilarious to me,
Yeah.
to all that.
And then there's...
Remember the game shows? You remember some of the game shows they had on Nickelodeon?
the fucking slime...
the Temple Run, stuff like that.
Super Slime Double Dare.
Super Slime Double Dare with Suzanne Summers or whatever her name was.
No, it was the dude. It was Mark Summers.
Mark Summers.
yeah.
From Food Network's TV's Unwrapped.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, that was his gig after that. Because that was the funny thing. I
Burt
remember
Reynolds hates that motherfucker.
I remember watching a couple episodes of Double Dare as a kid, but you never really fully pay attention to the host. You're there for the slime and the antics and shit like that.
There was one called like Mind Temple, where it was a giant talking temple. I love that.
But then I remember when we got cable and we started watching, it was just Food TV back then, it wasn't Food Network. And we were watching that, and that show Unwrapped came on, hosted by Mark Summers. And so I just got used to seeing him as the Unwrapped guy. And then in my mid-teens, when I started kind of going back trying to find those old episodes, I was like, wait a minute. That was hosted by Mark fucking Summers?
You're like, wait a minute. It's like you're Mr. Rogers.
Yeah!
But that was like Cartoon Network when it hit the scene.
I like watching the Johnny Bravos and
That's when that hit. Fucking
the
Dexter's Laboratory,
Dexter's Laboratories of the world.
Johnny
and shit
Bravo,
like that.
and then you had the cutaway shows. Remember, like he had a pet monkey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then there was
remember
like
that.
Jojo. No. That was the
Powerpuff
villain.
Girls.
That was the villain in Powerpuff Girls.
No, the superhero was just Monkey.
Yeah,
you know?
Monkey.
Yeah, Monkey. Yeah.
And he had like a monkey. He had kind of like an Avengers squad. There was a purplish Hulk, a rock and roll Thor,
Major Glory.
Major Glory. Yes. But those all came out around the same time.
There's an episode of Dexter's Laboratory with Monkey that had Macho Man Randy Savage as a villain in it.
Yes.
And he was just full on. It was always that character. He would always be in Cartoon Network episodes where he would just be full on Macho Man.
I loved it.
Because that's a cartoon voice anyway.
Yeah. And then, like, Powerpuff Girls, which is basically an American version of Tokyo Pop.
Yeah.
And then,
They started putting that on Tsunami after a minute.
They did, because there was actually some really fucked up things on there.
That was when they were starting to get real intense with like Powerpuff Girls and Samurai Jack.
I remember being in a hospital waiting room because my dad was having surgery, and Johnny Bravo came on the little TV in the waiting room, and this one lady told her kid, "Don't watch that." And I'm thinking that is so fucking tame. But some of these shows were coke infused.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, like, I remember
watch an episode of Cow and Chicken.
Yeah, and
That fucked up show.
the fucking carpet,
Ren and Stimpy.
the carpet muncher fucking episodes.
Where like the parents are like just
Ren and Stimpy,
or just legs and fucking waists.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
cow.
I was going to say, let's go ahead and kind of get ahead of this now. We ain't going to really talk much about Ren and Stimpy because the creator has kind of been outed to be really fucking bad.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so I was kind of always iffy on the show to start with because I didn't care for the art style.
It didn't grab me really all that much. I watched it here and there, but it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, but
It was very action oriented. A lot of movement, a lot of flash.
I didn't care for all the over exaggerated expressions they do at times. But yeah, now knowing the history and the past of everything too, it just really doesn't make them that much enjoyable.
I'm kind of curious about that story now.
Yeah.
Pedo.
Oh, damn.
Big time.
I was about to go there. Like, how bad we talking? Like Weinstein Cosby bad? Or like foot long subway bad? Like,
Yeah, no, hiring young interns then grooming them.
ugh.
Fuck him.
Yeah, big time.
But
actually, real quick before we go further, I kind of want to go almost timeline with it because you're kind of with you kind of doing that, I started kind of going through the Rolodex. I was like, oh, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. So I almost don't want us to get too far ahead. So let's bring it back a little bit because I think actually a good starting point would be you were kind of talking about the golden age of the debut shows. I remember catching the Batman animated series, Spider-Man. And then I remember
that was Fox.
So I remember those two on Fox. Even as a kid, I didn't care too much about X-Men, but I remember seeing the commercials for it and everything.
Holy, if you get a chance, and this is for the Patreon, Discord, everybody, watch the original Japanese intro to that show.
I have.
For the X-Men?
It's amazing.
Holy you never heard guitar riffs so crisp. Okay, motherfucker.
It's a completely new song.
And like the fucking animation is like fast paced.
Okay.
Like they completely redid it for the Fox
like they're fighting
series.
some bad motherfuckers.
Because I never got into like the series when I was a kid, but
I did. I loved it.
But then the fucking Juggernaut meme fucking videos would come out that would kind of like kickstart those memories again. I was like, oh, I remember this cartoon, and then they put the fucking Juggernaut meme in the fucking X-Men movie.
But no, I loved the Spider-Man series to the point where in my old storage unit, I wound up just abandoning it, so the tapes just went gone. But I used to have a box of like 12 cassette tapes that I would tape that show off the TV just so I could watch it whenever I wanted. And but yeah, outside of those Cartoon Network shows around that time, I remember watching primarily Johnny Bravo and Cow and Chicken.
Yeah.
Those were my two go-tos.
Johnny Bravo is one of those cocaine themed episodes.
Yeah.
God, yes.
I got an idea about a man who lives with his mama, who's a womanizer and a power lifter.
And he talks like Elvis.
And his best friend is a 10-year-old girl.
Yeah. It's like,
It shouldn't work, but
guys.
That should be a fucking expose on HBO. Right. What the fuck?
it's just Taxi Driver.
and then...
Oh, sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
just thinking of an animated version of Harvey Keitel just getting his ass beat.
Right. I was going to say my mom and dad loved it.
Yeah.
And that was the weird thing. Mom would let me watch stuff like Cow and Chicken. Actually, Here's a pull. Y'all remember Two Stupid Dogs?
Yeah.
She even let me watch that one. Even Cow and Chicken. But then Rugrats is where she drew the line.
Why Rugrats?
It's because they're Jews.
No.
Because they are.
Okay. But no, that.
Yeah, they had a whole Passover episode.
Yeah.
I remember
Oh,
that.
shit. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But yeah, why Rugrats? Why was she?
I don't know. For some reason, Rugrats was the one that
It does
show
have
that
some
she
dark
was just
humor
like,
in it. Like if you're an adult watching it with your kids, it's like there's like one episode where the dad's like in the middle of the night making warm milk, and he's adding chocolate to it, and it's like the mom's like, "Hey, what's wrong? Are you okay?" He's like, "My life is over. I don't know where I am anymore." And it's like, what? And it's like, whoa, what the fuck did he just say? He just basically had a
Because the parents are just as important as that series as the
he's
kids
having
are.
an existential crisis in the
Yeah.
goddamn kitchen in the middle of the night, and it's just like, hey, remember Tommy Pickles?
Shows like that and Hey, oh, I'm sorry, I keep cutting you
"No,
off.
you're fine. Go ahead."
Like shows like that and Hey Arnold kind of
Loved Hey
I was
Arnold.
touched
about
on
to
those
actually say
nerves.
that one, yeah.
They both of those just kind of touched on nerves like that on a regular basis.
Yeah,
And we're
Hey
wa-
Arnold had some fucking like gut punchers, kind of like Futurama. He got to build you up for that.
Oh, yeah.
Randy Travis is one.
Yep.
Yeah, he plays the Asian guy.
The Asian guy,
He
yeah.
plays because he wants to be a country star. Because I caught that because I grew up in like honky tonk bars like when I was really little because babysitters was expensive.
And
but like I'd be at there and I'd hear fucking Travis Tritt playing. I'm like, nah, that's Mr. Sal from fucking Hey Arnold. Who the fuck is Travis Tritt?
And I think they made the character name, they flipped it to being like Travis Randall or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, Randy Travis.
I didn't, out of all those Nickelodeon shows kind of in that era, I didn't like Wild Thornberries.
That was a hard show to watch.
Yeah.
Because the animation is so different, and
Yeah.
like it's
Kinda
that's
had
when computers really started integrating into that. You remember All Real Monsters?
Yes, that was a good one from that era too.
Can you name all three?
No.
Fuck. Crumb was the guy with the fucking eyes in his hands.
Uh-huh.
There's
the lizard.
the skinny black and white
Striped.
lips.
Looks like a cane.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Pull it up, James. You'll find that it's Oblina and Icus.
Oh yeah. Now that you say it out loud, that's exactly what it was.
Oh man, so good.
I do. I enjoyed that one. I didn't
Before
watch.
Monsters Inc., there was a show about horrible monsters who lived in a junkyard.
Yeah.
Who went down the Staten Island ferry and scared the shit out of kids in Brooklyn. Like,
And actually,
Right.
let's see who remembers this one. This would have been like for young me, but at the same time, y'all being a little older, you possibly remember it. Gullah Gullah Island.
yes, the giant yellow frog.
Yes.
Gullah
Yeah.
Gullah Island.
Yeah, that was
name
a-
is familiar.
That was technically part of Nick Jr., but I would have been young enough to watch it at that time.
That was
but-
also part of Bear's Big Blue House type shit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the big fucking
Bear.
big bear costume and Gullah Gullah
I'm trying to
Island.
remember the
I
other one
remember
with the
this now.
dragon. I'm trying to remember the one with the blue dragon. I can't remember that one.
Oh,
know-
Dragon Tales.
No. It was like Gullah Gullah Island. It was
Oh,
real
okay.
people with a giant dude in a suit.
Oh,
With
okay.
essentially a Barney
Yeah,
dude.
Barney-esque. I watched that as a kid too, and Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't know if you guys were too old to have wound up watching that one. At the
This is
time,
for
but-
Cat, but like, you remember Nickelodeon Stick Stickly?
Ooh,
Holy.
Yeah, the popsicle stick.
Yes.
Yeah, he'd tell you the news.
Yes. Actually, I remember.
wow, what a pull!
I remember when Face all of a sudden started doing stuff on Nickelodeon and Nick Jr.
Yeah.
Because that was when he would just have like a plain background to it, and just the eyes and lips would show up, and that'd be the announcer talking in between like commercial bumpers and shit.
What about, was it the same kind of bumper characters that what was the one guy that would have like the googly eyes and the facial expressions that would change to look like ketchup and mustard and stuff like that? He'd be
think
like,
that was
"I'm
Stick-
Mr. Whatever."
Yeah, that's Stick Stickly.
Yeah. No. You're. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was a character that eventually got commandeered by Pizza Hut.
Yes, it was Pizza Hut, and I think it wasn't a Nickelodeon bumper character
It
too.
was a Nickelodeon bumper character initially, and I think Pizza Hut bought him. But
I can't think of that character's name.
fuck.
I will
But
say
he would alys like fly into like cabinets and
Yeah.
like fall to his like his peril, and he'd just be like,
It's not.
"Oh no,
It's
like a
Mr.
noise-
Bill.
Mr. Bill."
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Bell. Oh no.
Yeah, they had one on Matt TV. It was much worse.
Yep. Oh yeah, the Mad TV one with all the clay characters.
And it's like it puts the lotion on its skin.
Yeah, so that got started on Saturday Night Live. So
Yeah.
I wonder why we're kind of connecting this to Nickelodeon.
I don't know.
I'm scrolling through, kind of looking, or there was a character like him
Yeah.
on it. Yeah,
Do you remember? So you guys never watched Captain Planet?
I watched it. I didn't like it though.
I didn't either.
I loved it because I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it must have not been Mr. Bill, but no, there was a
Environmental
character
crime.
like that on Nickelodeon.
No, but there was definitely a character like that as a bumper character. But
You remember all right, so like going to that to franchise characters for fast food. You remember the BK Kids Club?
yeah, here and there.
Oh man, that's a pull.
That's why I'm talking about Captain Planet, because it was a multiracial group of kids.
Yep.
It wasn't demons from hell like the McDonald's characters.
The fucking
Grimace,
Hamburglar and
Tell
all
me
that.
Grimace doesn't run the seventh circle of hell.
God, there's a Black Sabbath tribute band that's all fucking McDonald's characters.
I am the Black Grimace.
Grimace plays bass.
French fries in my soul.
It's like
Chicken nuggets in my brain.
all that. Yeah, it's all Black Sabbath songs with fucking like food puns,
Fucking doom metal fast food.
like sweet beef,
Yeah.
shit like that. Yes.
That killed Chris.
Oh, sweet beef.
Yeah, you gotta see Max Sabbath, dude.
Yeah. Not Max Sabbath.
I saw the dwarves open up for them of all things.
Yes. I would have paid that fucking show.
It ruled. But yeah, what was y'all's favorite Nickelodeon cartoon?
Rugrats.
Rugrats.
It was a good go-to. I don't know, it's just something about it. It was fucking hilarious.
That was one of my favorites.
I didn't watch it when it evolved and they added characters. That was when Toonami came out, so I shifted over there.
They did the Rugrats all growed up and all that too, where they became
The last thing I
teenagers.
saw-
Yeah, that's a different era. I'm trying to not pull from that one.
The
yet.
last Rugrats thing I saw was when the movie.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
Tommy gets a little brother.
Yep, and guess what? It was on an orange VHS tape.
Yep.
Yep. I had that too.
Nickelodeon go-to.
I love it. I love
I
it.
had that in a Keenan and Kel orange. Yeah, old Keenan and Kel.
And see, and that's the thing too, and that's why Nickelodeon was so fucking smart, because even down to that, I remember getting, like, as a young child, getting like a Blue's Clues tape or something, and it was so cool because I had like the '80s Spider-Man series. They would do like dual tape packs, and it was like a dual Doctor Doom thing.
Yeah.
It was like the 2 Doctor Doom episodes from Spider-Man, the '80s series, with the bow bow bow
Yeah.
intro. So it's like I had a bunch of tapes. Only my Nickelodeon tapes were orange.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was special. You know, it was like something, it's like, oh, wow, that was something different. You know, it just felt like I had something, you know, unique, you know? So I think that's even, they would even kind of, building brand awareness and like a brand loyalty in children even back then. It's like, hey, your Spider-Man
It's like
tapes
candy
aren't
cigarettes.
red.
It's like candy cigarettes, man. If you got the little one with the horseshoe, you smoke Durrells. If you got the one with the little hat, you smoke Winston's.
But yeah, favorite Nickelodeon cartoon from that era. As weird of a pull it is, I might have to say Cat Dog.
Cat Dog was I like Cat Dog, but Cat Dog was fucking weird too.
It was weird, but it was just weird enough. And I
Yeah.
think the reason it didn't weird me out too much is because it was animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of that kind of gross out humor, it was kids doing it. It'd be a kid puking and then licking it up. But instead, if it was the cat hacking up a hairball and then the dog eating it, it's like, okay, well, if you've got a cat and a dog, you've probably seen that happen.
Well,
Yeah.
going close to that era, I guess Hey Arnold would be my go-to then.
Yeah.
I would love to do this as another episode, but did y'all ever watch any of the live action shows?
I did.
Like,
some of them.
you might remember this one. I'm curious if he does, if you watched it. The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
I remember Pete and Pete.
Pete and Pete, man.
Everybody loved
Pete
Pete and Pete.
Yeah.
That was early 90s
Yeah.
before they started. That
Yeah.
was before Amanda Show or any of those,
That's
right?
when all that started, and Kenan Thompson.
I've seen stuff on it recent, like within past years, but I don't remember that
They
as
had like
a
an
kid.
alt rock band do their theme song. It was
Exactly.
like a garage band doing their theme song.
It was like
But-
Lifehouse or some shit.
Yeah, it was like it was just a story about two brothers, two redheaded ginger kids.
Yeah.
That was probably around the God, what
it was
was
around
it?
95, 96.
Well, I was gonna say These We Do in the Dark, Secret, whatever that show was.
Oh, Secret Tales We Tell in the Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that
and-
was around that time era, wasn't it?
And then
Yeah.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? And
Are
all
You
that.
Afraid of the Dark? That's what I was thinking of.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're lame ass stories.
Yeah.
'Cause I would watch that shit. This is how it worked. I would watch that stuff and I'd be like, Dad, check this out. And he's like, okay, he'd humor me. He's like, okay, all right, okay, that was a little scary. He'd pop off another beer cap and be like, all right, we're going to watch Amityville Horror 1977.
Oh, shit.
And we're going to show you what real fucking horror looks like.
You were like, all right.
And then anytime I saw lights on while I slept was, I'm pretty sure, the eyes of Satan. So, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Can kiss my ass.
Well, that was your fault. You're like, Dad, this is scary. And he's like, oh, no.
I'll fucking
You
show
know what's
you scary.
Be it fucking no.
Oh my God, yes.
I was there in the fields of Grenada. No. Oh, God.
Did y'all watch Doug?
Doug Funny.
Doug Funny.
And his girlfriend, Patty Mayonnaise, and his
Yep.
black friend, Skeeter, who was green.
Who was blue? Or
Green?
was he, no, Roger was green.
No, Roger was yellow. Roger the asshole?
Yeah, Roger the bully asshole. Yeah,
No,
that
yeah,
was
that was
fucking
yellow.
He was yellow.
I
He
guess
was
my
a coward.
I guess my TV was fucked
Are you
up.
colorblind?
It's the Mandela effect.
Oh no, it's not the
Oh, no.
Is it Bernstein
Oh,
Bears
no.
or Berenstein Bears,
Hang
Alex?
on a second. Hang on a second.
Is it Doug Funny or Doug Laughter?
Is it Doug Funny or Doug Ha Ha?
What was his
right.
dog's name?
Pork chop.
Yep.
But yeah, he's green in these photos, or greenish.
Oh, yeah, I always saw him as yellow. My TV showed him as yellow.
They had a movie of that come out too.
Yeah.
That was
I
when
don't
they
know why. Oh, geez. Now maybe we were hit with the Mandela effect. Fuck.
My memories are right.
Chris and I came from the different dimension.
But then they moved it to Disney, and then became
That
a
was
whole-
weird.
Yeah, when they became middle schoolers.
Yeah, let's go ahead and cross that one. Did y'all watch Disney Channel much? We were talking about mainly Nick and Cartoon Network, but
We didn't have Disney money, son. Okay. My dad sprung for HBO, and that was it.
okay. Let's say I didn't know how y'all's packages worked. If y'all had satellite or cable, or
No,
how it was sectioned
we had
off.
basic cable, and it went up to like 51, maybe 60.
which was just enough to catch those two.
Yeah, like the last channel was C-SPAN.
Oh yeah.
I could tell you exactly how it went. Locals up to 18. 11 was Fox. 28 and 29 were Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. 32 was Comedy Central. 33 was Sci-Fi. 42 was TNT. 38 was TBS. 36 still is ESPN, and 37 is ESPN2.
Isn't it amazing
I
how
remember
you
36.
remember? Isn't it crazy how you remember those certain things?
Let me tell you the ones for Dish Network.
Well, I was gonna say that's the one I remember. I remember
148, 147, Cartoon Network.
Oh well, what was $2.99?
Oh shit!
Oh shit, was that not Comedy Central?
No, $2.99 on DirecTV.
Oh shit! $2.99 on DirecTV.
Fuck. Was that not Cartoon
That was
Network?
Nickelodeon.
That was Nickelodeon. That's
shit.
right.
Yeah, because you get a little higher. It's
Because 300 turned into Nick, which wound up they showed all those old, almost Canadian produced cartoons.
like Pete and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, like 300, 306, 308, I think was Cartoon Network.
Yeah, he said something.
And a little bit above Cartoon Network was the Disney Channel.
Yep.
And that's when we
Yeah.
first got it, when we first got DirecTV. And we were like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
We're
They had like the Hercules
yeah,
animated show. That was a fun one.
yeah. If like they had that, and I would watch. What I would watch on Disney Channel would be like the Friday night movie nights. They would have they would have like the Ewok movie and the Godzilla movies and all that
Yeah,
shit.
they had a lot of kaiju stuff on there.
Well,
Yeah.
see, even though
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Now they won't do that shit.
even though I didn't have Disney Channel for a long time, and neither did Chris, we did get a little bit of a Disney fix. If we want to roll into when you were just saying straight up Saturday morning cartoons,
Yeah.
ABC,
Yeah, ABC
would
Family.
rock out some of those. They'd show some of the Gargoyle episodes. That's where I would catch some of the Batman episodes at times.
Yeah.
That or WB.
Was
WB had.
oh yeah,
WB
there was a little bit
had
of
cool stuff like the Return of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
What was another one?
Had watched a little bit of like Animaniacs and all the Steven Spielberg cartoons and shit like
Animaniacs and all
that.
their short little shows like
Yeah.
Pinky and the Brain. And,
Yeah,
Oh, I remember Pinky and the Brain. Did y'all watch DuckTales?
Yep.
DuckTales.
No.
I didn't.
What about Tailspin with
Nope.
just like the Jungle Book characters
Like everybody,
flying
like
fucking
I never
planes?
watched anything animal based from Disney
Yeah, those are all like terrible.
except for Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck. I remember
Because
that.
but even then I only saw a little bit of it. I was a Power Rangers kid, man. Yeah, like when Fox came on, we're watching goddamn Power Rangers. I got to know how Rita Repulsa dies, and then it was like Dragon Ball Z before Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And holy shit, whose idea was? I would just want to know what the fuck they were smoking to come up with a character called Lord Zed.
I mean, that's pretty metal.
Look that up and tell me if that's okay for kids in the mid fucking 90s.
Lord
Zed.
Zed for Power Rangers.
He looks like a fucking Cenobite.
Oh yeah, I remember
with
this.
no skin.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Pull that up, James.
It does look like it does look like it should be a fucking like Dragon Ball Z villain.
He has no skin,
Yeah, that thing.
and
is
he's
fucking
built like
crazy.
a brick shit house. You can see his muscular tendons.
I always thought Power Rangers was, silly even as a little kid.
I fucking like. I figured you might like it because of the kaiju thing, because they had like the Zords and the.
I didn't
and they
see it.
fought.
I didn't could appreciate it like that when I was that age. I just saw it as like that.
What's funny is like the Green Ranger became a UFC fighter, and he's
Right.
not bad. Like he became like this jack dude who'd fuck people up.
We talked about Angry Beavers before we started rolling. Did you like that? That was one of my favorites too.
I didn't like it. It was just a show that I would leave on.
That was just one of those like silly fucking.
It'd be right on. It'd start. That would be the last show before Toonami kicked on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Angry Beavers.
Trying to
It was like somehow Cartoon Network thought that, hey kids, after 4 o'clock, tell your little brother or sister to go fuck themselves, and it's time for you to watch your show. It's time to watch your stories, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I want to know if there was an actual like conscious, back and forth, competition
Oh, I
between Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon at the time.
I bet there was. I bet there was a. I think I see it more as like how musicians do labels.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they want to go here, or they don't have a place to go. So now it's a fight over who gets what. Mm-hmm. And then Nickelodeon, they have standards and practices that are different from Cartoon Network standards and practices.
But that kind of gives Cartoon Network the leeway to start showing programs from, some bloody Japanese anime shows on fucking 10 o'clock at night on a kid's channel.
Yeah, even then, you ran the gambit when it came after 6 o'clock. After 6 o'clock, Toonami showed some stuff. You're like, God damn.
Because it would be Dragon Ball Z, and it would be
like, I remember the first part would be like Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls. They even got a little too intense after a minute. Dexter's Laboratory had.
Do you remember a character called Him?
On Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Let me see this.
All capital letters.
Like the
Him.
Band, like the band.
Yeah. Him from Powerpuff Girls.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Powerpuff Girls.
It was a villain
Oh yeah,
who was trans.
I remember this. Yeah, it's like basically
He was
a
also Satan.
lobster, devilish character in a fucking tutu and
High heels.
and high heels.
Yep. That's what they thought was a villain.
I mean, it's a pretty terrifying looking villain.
Yeah, because he would sneak.
Because I never watched the series really all that much.
Yeah. They do some clever stuff that you notice when you're older, like Miss Bellum is shaped like a giant cerebellum of the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I did here real quick was pull up Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network's full list of animated series just to make sure we're kind of not missing anything. And we're actually, our memories are serving us correctly. We have stayed really in the pockets of where we, like what I kind of define as like a certain era of cartoons. Because, yeah, you kind of said Kablam and was kind of where you trailed off on Nickelodeon, because right around then is when Angry Beavers and Cat Dogs and Wild Thornberrys started showing up, and that's when you were like, And then, so I kind of see Wild Thornberrys as that line, because right there after that is SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of go through the list up to Wild Thornberries, because I don't think we really missed anything we didn't want to talk about too much. Oh, actually, yeah, we did. But we had Doug, Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy Show, Rocco's Modern Life.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah, I
Yep.
watched that a lot.
What was his job? What was his job?
For one episode. For one episode.
It was
What episode too many?
even as a little kid, I'm watching that going like, is he doing what I'm thinking
Phone
he's doing?
sex operator.
Well, hello, Mrs. Head. Miss Big Head. Oh, Rocco, I love your voice.
I watched Rocco, but
Say it
I didn't.
again, baby.
I didn't seem to laugh at it too much.
I liked it. I liked his friend, the turtle,
Yeah.
and Hef.
Filberts
Hef. He was raised by
by wolves. That was the one thing I remember from that episode where they're just like, he asked them, Rocco just says, I know you were adopted, Hef. And he's like, is that true?
He's like, well, yeah, it does, son.
And the wolves are like, well, we were going to eat you in so many words, but we loved you. And then he goes like, he pulls his shirt up. He's like, what about my birthmark? And it's like loin and parts of meat ready to cut up and shit like that.
Yeah. I had a bunch of friends that liked Rocco, but I think it was also the voice. It was an interesting. What was the accent? Australian at the time. The Australian accent was still so new to me, even though we were getting a German accent with like Dexter. It's like for some reason that Australian was a little grating maybe to my ears as a kid.
He's a wallaby from Australia.
Yeah.
Dexter was host of Joseph Mengele.
A red-headed Joseph Mengele.
Yeah, and we talked about Hey Arnold and Our Real Monsters, but Kablam, we kind of skimmed over that one. Cap, did you watch much Kablam?
I liked Kablam a lot.
That was my number one favorite.
What was your favorite mini show in there?
Either Action League Now or I forget the two character names, but the caveman and the alien.
Oh, Prometheus and Bob.
Yes, either of those two. Those are my two favorites because
I like Action League Now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Thunder Girl and the Amazing Melting Man.
Meltman.
Meltman.
and
Because
also
you know a fucking like angsty fucking teenager did all that shit. He's like, all right, Billy, we're gonna give you a fucking blowtorch, and you can listen to Marilyn Manson as loud as you fucking want. Just shut the fuck up and melt this fucking G.I. Joe.
Just get it out of your system.
Beautiful people, the beautiful people. He's got fucking Lightning Janet or whatever their fucking name is tied to a ceiling fan.
But the good thing about
The
that
Luge, what was his name? The Luge, or what was his name? The nude guy, the Buff.
Oh yeah, the Buff. Yes.
The Buff.
that's a great thing about that show. That all the other shows within that show, and
Yeah.
you had like the two hosts that kind of tied it all together
And
too.
plus with Action League Now, I had to have a little love for it because Kiss actually did a full segment on it because to promote their Todd McFarlane action figures that they had just released, they hopped in.
I think I remember them in it.
Yeah, and Molten Man was a fan of theirs, and they're like, oh, his Meltman, that was his name, Meltman.
Yeah.
He's like, and at the end of the day,
I'm
he's
coming.
yeah,
Then you had the fucking toilet pirate or whatever his name was.
oh
The scuba-
God, yes.
Scuba Man or whatever. It's like,
oh,
Sewer
yeah.
Joe. Yeah, and the way he got around everywhere is that same jump clip of them flushing the action figure. It's like they only wanted to film it once, so they just used the same clip every fucking time. And what were the other shorts? Because those are the main two that are really coming to mind.
See, let me pull up.
It was a show kind of like South Park. Like it was like cut up like paper mache kind.
Yeah,
It was a
I
girl, not Pepper Ann. It was
Yeah, but I remember Pepper Ann. That was a
Ginger or something. I forget what it'll go.
Do y'all remember the two hosts' names?
No.
If you hadn't asked me, I could have told you. Honestly.
Zach. I want to say one is Zach.
Nope.
Lucy and something.
Henry and June.
Henry and June.
Yeah.
Never would have gotten him.
Yeah. Well,
I remember one had green hair, one had blue hair.
Yes.
we've got here's a list of shows that they've had. We've got Sniz and Fondue.
Yeah, I remember Sniz and Fondue.
We mentioned Action League Now. We've got Life with Loopy. I
Oh,
remember
I
that.
remember Life with Loopy.
We've got Prometheus and Bob. We've got the Offbeats.
Yeah, I remember the Offbeats.
There were surprising shorts.
Oh yeah, the Offbeats. Fuck. Like that took me a minute to remember, but yeah, now I got that one.
Is that all they have?
Yeah.
Yeah. They would just show like the same. I mean, we got a bunch of Prometheus and Bob
It was a
and a
sketch
bunch
show.
of Action
It was a
League
sketch show with cartoons.
Right, but recurring like the
Yeah.
same shows within the show
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we might
They'd
get
be like they'd be like 5-6 minutes long, and then
Yeah.
cut away to the next one. Make it an entire 30-minute show.
yeah, or hell, even barely that maybe 20 minutes because between all the commercial
5
breaks.
minutes of toy commercials.
Yeah.
And then so yeah, after Kablam, Angry Beavers. We didn't talk about that one much, but yeah, we weren't too big of fans.
There was a bunch of characters in that show I really liked. Where at the same time though, there was the Big Bear that
Angry
was essentially
Beavers? Oh,
just
yeah.
Barry White. He's like, "Oh baby, it's gonna be a hot day today," and shit like that. And then Stump, who was just a stump with a face drawn on it, and he was everybody's best friend.
Oh, it's kind of like Ed, Ned, and Eddie.
Yeah.
Oh, we were gonna get to Cartoon Network.
sorry.
Trust me, that because Ed and Eddie, I kind of put that in almost with the SpongeBob SquarePants era. So that's kind of where I didn't talk about that one quite yet. But yeah, after that, Cat Dog. Yeah,
I liked Cat Dog. What was the little neighbor mouse that lived in their house's name?
Oh yeah, but, fuck.
Oh, he basically Harvey Keitel.
Yeah, he had like this whole fucking mafia shit going on in his little rat hole. It was funny.
Let's see.
He was like blue and wore overalls.
was
loved
it-
his cheese,
was
big
it-
ears.
Was it Winslow?
Winslow, yes,
That's right.
yeah. And plus, I liked the animation on it. I thought it was kind of interesting looking. Plus, I liked around that time. I remember seeing Frankenweenie.
Yeah,
Not the
okay.
cartoon, but the actual, short. And I remember kind of being like, it was like, ooh, like a Frankenstein dog. And I liked Frankenstein as a kid. So, like, I kind of connected the whole cat dog thing with, like, it's like, ooh, it's like an animated Frankenstein pet thing. So, maybe that's where I kind of connected it to.
I liked it a lot when I was a kid. I was one of those where my mom and dad were just kind of like, "What? Really? Okay."
And then Oh Yeah Cartoons, which that spawned
Oh.
a bunch of little things. That had all of the little shorts.
With Johnny Bravo, that's where Johnny Bravo came from and all that, right?
No, this was still Cartoon Network. I mean Nickelodeon, sorry.
Oh, Cartoon Network was What a Cartoon.
Yes, that had
Okay.
What a Cartoon.
What was on Oh Yeah Cartoons?
Yeah, Oh Yeah Cartoons, that spawned a lot of the next generation that would be coming up after that.
It was like a pilot series. Like this is where
Yeah.
you would put your pilot at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember.
okay, yeah, here we go. Oh shit, actually, you're right, Cap. Notable series that spun off from this was Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls, Chalk Zone, Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken, My Life as a Teenage Robot, Courage, Fairly Odd Parents, Fat Boy and Chum Chum, Adventure Time, Bravest Warriors, and a few others that I don't remember.
Fucking Adventure Time just took off. As I was getting into college, like everybody I knew that was like in dorms, that was like my.
They did a couple reboots as I'm reading this, and that's where those legacy ones came from.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, stopping at basically Fairly Odd Parents. So yeah, Dexter, Powerpuff, Chalk Zone, Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken, My Life's a Teenage Robot, Courage, and Fairly Odd Parents all came out of that fucking show.
I watched a good chunk of them too. I think
Yeah.
Dexter's Laboratory was my favorite out of all of those.
And with that in mind, let's go ahead and pop on over to Cartoon Network because
Before we go to Cartoon Network, I need to ask you if y'all remember something. Between shows, either on Boomerang or Cartoon Network, they would do these weird self-promotion stuff. You remember the Magilla Gorilla song? It was like a rap song almost.
Oh,
You remember?
like they were like
it
kind of
sounded like
bumpers.
a window.
No. It sounded like Pete Rock had wrote it.
Right.
Yeah.
But they would do that as commercial bumpers, just
my
kind of.
God.
But it would be like it'd be
on
like
Cartoon Network
but it'd
too,
be like a
right?
slow jam almost.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Banana Splits would do that shit too.
Yeah, I got a gorilla for sale. Magilla gorilla for sale. And it's just
That's-
like,
that's
what
why- that's
what
why-
the fuck is that? They're like,
Well, that's why. Remember, I asked it. I was like, "Was he in a window?"
Yeah.
That's why I asked that in a second ago. Yeah, it got a gorilla for sale because he was in the window, and they're
there's
like,
kind of like a weird hip hop beat to it. And it's a
Yeah,
real
oh my
smooth.
God.
You got to sell to the kids
Yeah, I know, right? But I was just like, fuck, they're pitching a Hanna-Barbera cartoon with like
with rap and shit.
like lo-fi rap.
God, I forgot all about that. And it seems like Cartoon Network was slow on the roll for getting cartoons out.
Yeah, because once Toonami did, that's what put them on the map.
Exactly. So, within the first couple years, not much to really go on. The first one debuted was the Moxie Show.
I remember that one. That was just kind of like a Beavis and Butthead thing with Hanna-Barbera and Looney Tune cartoons.
And then coming out right after that was Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
I like Space Ghost Coast to
We
Coast.
know you do, Cap. Ever since that first Christmas episode, we know you like Space Ghost.
Oh yeah. But no, there was that's on HBO Max now, and
Yeah.
Is it?
It's silly as
I would
shit.
love them to bring it. I would love to see them bring it back, but go like a full tilt crazy with it, kind of like AM Coast to Coast.
Well, they tried it. They would kind of play around with that. You watched a lot of things as an adult with Space Coast Coast to Coast. They kind of teetered on that a little bit and had fun with it.
Yeah.
But that was as it was that was another big part of its transition into Adult Swim, I think, too.
But no, definitely after hearing that's on HBO Max, text me that fucking login so I can put it on my TV upstairs. I want to.
I shall.
That's like one of those I want to just kind of put on in the background as I'm doing shit, is having just Space Ghost on. That would be fucking great.
And that's how I found out about a lot of fucking celebrities at the time and shit like that too as a little kid.
And then learning some interesting stuff here on the Couch Potatoes. Coming up after that was What a Cartoon. So now Cartoon Network is doing their version, trying to find their stable of cartoons now. Reading the Wikipedia article, check this out. They also aired Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken, Courage the Cowardly Dog, but then also a series called Mike, which I don't remember that one.
I don't remember that at all either.
Lou and Oog,
No.
or Lou and Og, OG.
No. Doesn't ring a bell at all.
I slightly remember that. Sheep in the Big City. I remember that.
Oh, okay. I remember that design. I don't remember what happens in the cartoon though.
Basically just sheep in the city. And then whatever happened to Robot Jones?
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that one, Cal?
Not at all.
I remember seeing bits and pieces, but it'd be one of those things that be on before Toonami.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Codename Kids Next Door and Grim and Evil.
I remember Grim and Evil.
That also spawned out of that
I like
one.
Codename Kids Next Door. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh, as well as Fox's Family Guy.
Yeah.
Because the very first pilot actually ran through this. It didn't really seem too much like Family Guy, but Seth MacFarlane had a short that would eventually turn into Family Guy that aired during this cartoon block.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Look that up.
So they wound up running that one for a good while, and then coming out of that was Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken, and I Am Weasel.
Yeah, an IR baboon.
That's why I kind of jumped through those. We kind of talked about Dexter, Johnny, and Cow and Chicken, but we did not talk about I Am Weasel.
That was under that Cow and Chicken umbrella too, about just weird, gross characters.
Yes, they both debuted on the same. Wow, actually, yeah, Dexter's Laboratory was April 28th, 96. Johnny Bravo was July 14th, 97. Cow and Chicken, I Am Weasel, July 15th, 97. So, like, in the span of 2 days, they debuted 3 new shows.
They just had a big rollout, didn't they?
Yeah. Then after that was the Powerpuff Girls and Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Yeah, and like y'all mentioned earlier, Ed, Edd and Eddy was one of those where I was kind of like getting out of, what were the kids' cartoons. I thought I was like too old for all that stuff as I was kind of like, as all that was going on.
And then so that's where I get to kind of hop in and go, well, I was kind of a kid for a little longer.
Right.
I watched the fuck out of some Ed, Edd and Eddy.
And
I loved that fucking show.
There's a fucked up YouTube Ed, Edd and Eddy parody. And it's hilarious where they're just breaking people's jaws, like the delivery kid or whatever, and they're like just chewing on their broken jaws or whatever.
I like so I like did like a deep dive into Ed and Eddy, like some of like darker stuff.
Oh yeah,
it's like which one was the dumb one? Eddie? No, Ed.
Yeah, Ed.
Single D.
Yeah, Single D.
Single D apparently like lived in the basement.
Yep.
Slept on planks of wood with ratted nails because they get out of it.
And that's kind of like
and like they left him down here. They would like throw him food like he's fucking Leatherface.
It's kind of like Stump in Angry Beavers.
Well, he had Plank. Yeah, there was Plank. And
someone did like a whole like psychology breakdown how like each of like the cul-de-sac kids was like a different sin, and how like it was all purgatory because you never actually saw parents.
all the kids are dead.
Yeah, all the kids are dead because
the
you never
fuck?
because you never see the parents,
and they're like in limbo.
Uh-huh.
And they're forced to They're like in the medium place.
Yeah, because tell me
So
how
the
many
good,
outside.
right.
Well, Cap, how many outside kids did you ever see in that show?
Other than the Kanker sisters.
And the main cul-de-sac crew.
And how many people were in that crew?
About maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah.
There was Ed and Eddie, the bully, the preppy girl, the mean bitch, the kid with braces, the foreign kid, Plank, and the Plank's owner. And that's about it.
Yeah. Like, and maybe like 1 or 2 little ones you'd see kind of pop in and out. But no, you would not see that many outsiders come in.
No.
But no, the
WandaVision.
the creators have kind of come out and said, they're like, look, y'all are reading way too deep
Yeah.
into this. We're just making a cartoon, y'all. But it is kind of funny how you can make all those connections.
Might as well have some
And it
fun
does
with
make it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then come through those was the Mike Lewin Oog. Yeah, I didn't watch that one.
Yeah.
But Courage the Cowardly Dog. Did y'all watch that one?
That was
Here and there.
it wasn't my bag because it was kind of like being too surreal.
There was the What a Cartoon, like short or whatever, was pretty
Yeah.
good from what I remember. I remember like getting excited about, a whole series because I liked that particular
Right.
short, but it didn't land for me.
I remember wanting to like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly. That's kind of where I was.
Because again, I was the right age to dig it, but like I would watch it and it was just like it weirded me out too much.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a situation of it's too dark. It wasn't too dark. It was just it just there was no relief in the show at all.
Cartoon Network tried to do the thing that Nickelodeon was doing by pushing that weird envelope a little. Cow and Chicken did that a lot too.
Yeah, but Chris, you just said you didn't really watch that one too much.
No, that was when. Yeah, that was.
Yeah. Then after that was Sheep in the Big City. Like I said, I watched a little on that one. And then Time Squad and Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack was the shit. That's Phil Lamar, man. That's the old boy from King of the Hill.
Yep. And Mad TV.
Mad TV.
And Pulp Fiction. Shot Marvin in the face.
Fuck Marvin. Marvin tripping.
And along with Samurai Jack was Grim and Evil. That kind of debuted around the same time.
They had another show with Grim and Evil, Billy and Mandy.
Yes, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. That was a way further down, so I didn't want to. I didn't even think you'd watch that one.
I remember watching it. Like I don't know. It was probably like one of those things that would be on Nickelodeon or something. I've come home and too early or had nothing to do. And
Yeah. Because we didn't get Beavis and Butthead or an MTV or anything like that.
Man, I was trying to do the same thing for the Adult Swim, so we could kind of run down that, but it's not actually giving it to me in chronological release. Cap, you want to try pulling that up?
I got a Toonami.
Oh, you got Toonami?
Yeah.
I was hoping we could just find Adult Swim because that would include Toonami.
Well, this is like the early years of Toonami before it went to
think
Saturday mornings.
I think,
Oh, okay, okay.
I think Toonami came before Adult Swim.
Yep.
Oh,
and
would
then
it
Adult
have?
Swim came out
Yeah.
later.
Oh, got it.
then,
Okay.
Because Toonami would run from 4 o'clock to midnight.
Got it. Okay. Now, this is where the separation again kind of happens. I didn't watch too much Toonami, and the reason being is also why I wanted to make sure we kind of talked about the Nickelodeon stuff first. So I did not watch much anime.
Yeah.
So when you guys were like, we've all seen Dragon Ball Z, I'm like, I've never watched a single episode of Dragon Ball Z.
If you've seen a meme, you've seen the entire
Yeah,
series.
I get
Essentially.
that. I get that. But when I was a kid,
Yeah.
I did not watch that shit. I didn't watch Dragon Ball. I didn't watch Naruto.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch really any other anime
was after
outside
me.
of.
Do what?
Naruto was after me.
Was it?
Yeah, I didn't really watch anything up after Dragon Ball Z anime wise. And the reason I like Dragon Ball Z as much as I did as a kid is because it's a good versus evil story.
Yeah. Well, what were some of the Toonami shows that were out earlier on?
Well, Toonami was actually a part of the WB at the time.
Okay.
It was still progress through Cartoon Network. But some of the stuff they had when they started, and this is like around 2000 that I remember, they did the Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
And then they moved it to later on at night.
Yeah.
But no, they'd open up, I'll see, at 4 in the morning or 4 in the afternoon. It'd be Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
Sailor Moon,
Sailor Moon. I remember
Voltron.
that. Voltron. That's what I was trying to think of earlier.
Robotech, which
Yeah.
was kind of like Gundam. Then you had Gundam Wing,
Yeah.
would come on, and that was the show for me. Dude, that had such a good story.
I couldn't latch on to Gundam or Voltron or anything like that after Dragon Ball Z. And Dragon Ball Z was a slow burn afterwards.
Yeah, they had it was kind of like up over like Silverhawks, stuff like that. Big O, that was a cool show. The cool thing about Toonami is it introduced me to the Gorillas.
Oh, okay.
The band.
Because they did music videos.
Yeah.
In between shows sometimes. They did One More Time by Daft Punk. And it was like, wow, that's pretty fucking cool looking.
Yeah.
Like, is that a show that they're trying to show? It's like, no.
Daft Punk and Gorillaz kind of fit in the vibe of what Toonami was doing anyway with anime shows.
Dragon Ball Z was like the most popular at the time.
Yeah.
But I remember when Dragon Ball came on Fox Saturday night.
Well,
That's
Really?
Fox. Yeah.
It's Fox Saturday morning.
no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Fox- when I
that's-
was young, when I was like 5 and 6, Dragon Ball was on Fox.
Because they tried to reboot that on Toonami afterwards.
Yeah, later on.
Yeah, and that was just like, I watched that going like, this is just little kid Dragon Ball Z. I don't like this.
And like it's very adult.
Dragon Ball? Well,
Dragon Ball, yeah.
moments of it were.
Because it's like, why is he sleeping naked next to a woman?
Yeah.
And like, why is he got his hands in her pants? And
Yeah,
why
it
is
was
Mr.
very
Roshi a voyeur?
It was weird like that, wasn't it?
But around 2002, Time Warner and WB kind of split off, and that's when they did a lot of the DC stuff. They did that show Static Shock.
Oh yeah, Static Shock. And the Beetle. Not the Beetle. The Tick.
Yeah, the Tick.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was Fox.
Oh, that was Fox. Okay.
Yeah. You had the Flash, the animated series.
Yeah.
The animated show. Superman, the animated series. The New Adventures of Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Which was the continue on of the animation, which actually has some really dark shit in it.
Yeah, it does.
Because it shows the Joker torturing Robin, which was really fucked up.
They started kind of like getting just pushing that envelope a little further too, even with the Justice League TV shows they would run.
Yeah. After that,
And all that's on Max too.
After that, they went through. So there was a character in Toonami called Tom. Tom was the host.
Yes.
Tom was murdered. So
Ruthlessly.
yeah,
Unneededly.
killed by a character called the Intruder. Well, then he's replaced by something that kind of looks like Bomberman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they would go through these eras of Toms. Now, here's where it gets weird. Every new Tom or Sarah, the cartoons got horrendously more violent.
Yeah.
Like they kept Dragon Ball Z, but they were like, okay, here's your opener. This is what we're going to open with, our Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And then we're like, all right, Sailor Moon's finished, so your pedophilia dream is gone. Because they added gay characters. They did. They added 2 characters. And the American version is like, oh, no, that's a boy. It's like, nah, but he turned into a chick.
That was
They were
kind of,
lesbians.
that was kind of our as kids watching Cartoon Network, our gateway into
The LGBT.
that and like
SpongeBob.
and bloody fucking violence on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. People got cut in half. People
Yeah.
died forever.
Yeah.
That was the hook for me and a kid, just like the bloody violence, going like, they're doing this? What?
Yeah, like a kid's being tortured. Like Frieza, remember Frieza?
Yeah.
He like tortured a fucking kid.
Yeah.
He's like, I want that kid. I want it.
Just full on decapitations and shit like that
Yeah.
on 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Full on,
Yeah, I
like,
had buddies of mine that
like
were really
Bruce Lee
into it
style
at all,
murder.
but just I don't know. For some reason, that was just a kind of genre show I couldn't get into as much.
Another, all right, so it went from that
Yeah.
to Gundam Wing became like the flagship for a little while, and that
Okay.
story really evolved.
Right.
Then you had shows like Yu Yu Hakusho, The Spirit Detective. Rurouni Kenshin was the violent one.
Right.
Because his name was literally Batosai, the man slayer. Okay, that was his fucking name. It might as well say the butcher of Baghdad. Like,
Right.
the badass butcher in town. But like his whole thing was like his sword. The flat side was on the curved side, so if he hit
Yeah.
you with it, he wouldn't kill you.
Right.
But there'd be parts of the show and like he turns that sword around. It's like, oh shit, he's going to decapitate you, motherfucker! Like he's going to cut you the fuck down. Like we're going from safe and cool to Wu-Tang. Okay. Oh, everything's cool with the Daft Punk. Everything's fine. Everything's good. Then it's protect your neck.
Bring the motherfucking
Fucking
ruckus.
Well, the reason I was saying for Tom being needlessly murdered, wasn't there like a version of Tom that just like did not sit well with the fans? Like he didn't look right.
Yeah, that's why Tom keeps changing. There's like 7 Toms, but
yeah, there was like one specifically where people were just like, "What the fuck
had a
is
face.
this?"
yeah. And then it kept going for a while. That I remember around 2000.
6 or 7.
Around 2003 is when I kind of stopped watching it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the Tom I know. And there's a second one.
That one in the middle.
This one's the bad one.
Yeah, that's the one everyone fucking hated.
Yeah, that one's weird. It's got eyes. I don't remember that one at all.
Yeah, no one likes that. And it talked
great.
And it talked a lot. But no, around 2003, 2004, I stopped watching it. But right before I did, they did a show called Reboot.
I barely remember that.
Remember Reboot?
I don't remember Reboot
It was
at all.
a CGI show. It was one of the first attempts at CGI for a cartoon show, kind of like Beast Wars.
I remember Beast Wars.
Beast Wars was shit.
Yeah.
Optimus Prime was a gorilla.
Yes.
Megatron was a T-Rex.
He was like a dragon or some shit. I think it was a T-Rex sometimes and a dragon another time.
Yeah, he would fly. He could fly.
But then they were like there
was
was like a rat one and a cheetah one.
Rhinoc was a rhino. Cheetor was a fucking cheetah.
Cheetor.
Yeah, Cheetor. I had Cheetor.
I did too.
Oh, I remember that show now.
Yeah, Reboot.
Let me see. Oh yeah, that was Fox was doing a lot of those.
So when that show ended, a bunch of fans wanted it back. Then Toonami said, "We'll run one last season." And when they ran it, it was on. They showed an episode of Reboot where everyone you think dies. And then they started the new season, and it's set 10 years down the road, and like everyone's older, some techno Mad Max looking shit. Yeah. Damon Rising. Yeah. Holy shit, that was weird. Like the little boy character is now like a grown ass man who does like P90X and shit. Like had like one eye like Cable.
I remember the animation for that was just kind of being unnerving, you know.
Well, back then that's what you had, man.
Yeah.
Pixar wasn't pumping it out like they were.
And then
Not for television.
And then Netflix tried to reboot it one more time in 2018.
Yeah,
Interesting.
No, that's weird. I don't like that.
Completely changed up the style.
They tried to change the game.
They changed the game.
Ruined
did not
it.
do
They
it
tried
well.
to.
Ruined it.
Yeah.
Soiled it.
Soiled it.
Soiled it.
As they say, they shit the bed.
Yes.
Change the game, not your pants.
Change the game, not your pants.
But after that, there was Ronin Warriors.
Yeah.
Then you got to like later night stuff like Cowboy Bebop.
Yep.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop was. This is when Adult Swim was starting to
Bleed
become
in.
a thing. Yeah, 'cause it was.
And like what's crazy is before all of this, there's a show that was more popular than anything back in 96, 97. Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Every fucking where. I still remember the original 150. Fuck yeah. Like I still remember that shit.
Oh yeah. Because that fucking Pokerap gets ingrained in your fucking brain.
I watched. I was into Pokemon for like a year.
Yeah. I remember when Digimon came out. And that was
The Dollar General Pokemon.
First of all, it's not really a Dollar General. It was a Walmart Kmart difference.
Yes.
So
Yes,
there
I'll
was a
agree with
difference. There was. It wasn't cheap. That's for fucking sure. All right.
I had a few of those.
I loved it. It's like, hey, Pokemon. Oh, he's a mouse. He's going to evolve into a bigger fucking mouse. He's a bird. He's going to be a bigger bird. Digimon was, I have a little T-Rex.
He's going to be a big fucking T-Rex with horns.
And then he's going to be a fucking refrigerator with a machine gun.
Yes.
Okay? That's how it works in the evolution of Digimon because someone snorted all the coke.
Look at this fucking puppy over here. He's going to become a fucking robot with fucking like
rocket launchers.
Yes, rocket launchers on his fucking back.
And he's going to be on an F-16 as a glider. Okay?
Yes.
Like, what the fuck? One was literally an angel. Like, one turned into like some biblical story of Job type angel that you could not look upon, or your eyes would be flayed from your skull. Like, Digimon was such one of the weirdest goddamn television shows. All
Vampires.
television.
They were all last name Mon. Like there was
There was a mod. Like, there's
Vampire
Paimon.
Mon and Angel Mon and shit.
Do you remember
like
the
that.
little Tamagotchis?
Yes, that's what it started off as.
You remember what happened if you didn't feed it?
It was like
It turned into a pile of shit. It literally turned into a laughing pile of shit.
Yes.
With harms.
Yep.
He devolved into shit.
That was that era of like
I think that was like just a big jab at Pokemon. It's like, fuck all you and your little animals. You promote dogfighting, you pieces of shit.
That's one of the best Chris rants I've heard in a long time. That's all I was saying. I'm letting this roll as long as it's gonna go. That
But
was
it's
great.
so fucking weird that those two things became such a big part of your childhood.
I know, right?
From like 4th to 6th grade, that's all I
Yes.
fucking had.
and people are still like super
man.
into Pokemon.
Motherfucker, I work with adults
Yeah.
who still play the games.
I play the fucking Pokemon Go game.
But I'm like, they know the lure.
I don't pay attention to the
No,
lore anymore.
man. They're knee deep in that shit, bro.
That and fucking that and Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
No, see, I stuck around long enough. I remember the first
joked with-
150 like the back of my hand, but I do remember
too.
the second generation, the Gold and Silver Game Boy game.
Oh yeah, with Ho-Oh and Lugia.
Yeah. So it's like I remember that one because I had that. So those characters still feel a little familiar.
You remember
to
the three
me
birds?
too. The three. There was three. Oh, from the original. Yeah, Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Bitch, come at me in my house asking me about the three legendary birds.
Okay.
Oh, we're gonna have Pokemon trivia for the first 150.
God. Oh,
Who's
there you go.
151?
Mew. Ah.
Or Togepi. No. No, 151 would either be Mew or Togepi.
The
Mewtwo?
original 151 was Meryl.
Oh, god damn it.
Togepi was there first.
In the original output, Meryl was 151. Then they changed it because they had to do the show. Because I remember I had the book with the original 150, and then like,
Yeah.
hey, this is going to be the next thing, and you turn the
yeah.
page, and it's fucking Meryl.
This is right when the movie was
It
coming
looks like
out.
a fucking balloon.
Yes.
It's like bouncing on its own fucking tail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the Pokemon are terrible. One's like ice cream, one's a chair,
Oh,
one's like a lamp.
That's the.
I think one's a candle.
Dude, that's actually kind of kept me from progressing in the Pokemon Go game right now because when it first came out, it was only the original 150, and I'm like, yes, this feels like I'm playing my original blue or yellow
remember the,
cartridge again. This
you
is
remember the,
awesome.
You remember the glitch Pokemon in
Missing No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god. You talking about things that'll erase your fucking card, dude.
But no, and then they put out the second generation. I was like, oh, I remember a few of these Hoo-Hoo and Totodile.
In the
you
games,
know,
in the original games, what was your go-to?
for the starter in the original 3, Charmander.
Or like, what was the Pokemon like you used more than all?
Whatever my starter wound up being.
Oh,
I was
really?
one of those kids. My starter was OP as fuck, and the rest of my roster sucked.
To this day, I have beaten all the original and gold and silver with Pidgey.
The fuck?
The whole goddamn game.
Oh, you just keep it from not evolving. You just keep
No.
leveling
Like
it
I
up.
evolve it.
Oh, okay.
But by the time I'm into the end, no. I'm like a level 130 by the time I get to the last gym. 'Cause
Oh, I know.
I'm grinding like a motherfucker. The only reason I get other Pokemon is to do other shit. Like I get a Ditto, fuck, you're done, bro. All fucking
hilarious.
day, bro. A level 60 fucking Ditto at every gym.
but it's like now playing Pokemon Go. It's like now it's all the way up to the current generation. So it's like there's tons popping up
like-
that are like new,
Like
Dude,
350 or 375 or something like that.
Yeah, dude, no fucking joke. It's like I had to catch it just so I can get the number so I can continually progress. No lie, there is a Pokemon that is a bag of trash.
Yeah, I saw that.
A bag of trash is a fucking Pokemon. Like, okay, I'm cool with this that just popped up here. It's like, you got Krabby, you got Magikarp and Tentacle, so it's like, they're still sprinkling some of the original, and Weedle fucking just showed up there. But no, see if I can find this here because it would be under one of the newer. But no,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah. Well, Cap's leaning in. I don't think he's. Yep, it's right here. It's called Trubbish. It's literally a bag of fucking trash.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? You're right. That Pokemon is a bag of trash. Fucking trubbish.
But you know what's fucked up? There's a Korean kid that gets that. Beat your ass all day.
And then one that just looks like a skunk.
Well, that's what they all are. They're all real animals.
Yeah, but just
They're getting less and less creative.
yeah,
Because they're running out of fucking animals, bro.
Yeah. We're 20 years deep in Pokemon.
and like whatever the hell
there's
that is.
No more different than the fucking unknowns. Remember them?
Yeah, yeah. Quit rationalizing this and let me hate something. God damn it.
See, I can't rationalize Digimon because that shit's off the fucking wall. Like, Lude had one that was a giant cactus.
But I think, but I think we can all.
that was a fucking chia pit.
It was like this whole thing was like needle spray.
But I think we can all agree. At least we weren't no fucking Yu-Gi-Oh bitches.
I
No.
like Yu-Gi-Oh.
I was not into it.
I like playing cards.
Yeah.
I like games, and the artwork was the shit. Then Magic the Gathering came out. I'm like, fuck yeah, these are all like 70s metal albums. Covers.
I mainly said that just to annoy Mikey because I know he'll wind up hearing that.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
He loves Yu-Gi-Oh.
Let me get possessed by a demon and fight other people who are possessed.
Yeah. So really, at that point, I think the only ones who can really.
Then you had like the Fox morning cartoons.
Yeah, and that was like the Animaniacs, Batman.
Yeah.
You remember like Big Guy and Rusty the Boy Robot?
No.
That was a weird one. It was a guy in a giant robot suit, and there was this kid who looks kind of like the Big Boy fast food restaurant chain.
Oh yeah.
He looks like that, but he has red hair, but he's a robot, and he thinks
Okay.
the Big Guy is real. He thinks he's another giant robot. He's sentient.
Yeah.
And like he's like a kid, but he's like Astro Boy. But he's like, and they're trying to hide it from him because they think he might snap if the fuck he finds out that Big Guy is actually piloted by a man.
Yeah.
But it's so fucking hilarious that that's part of it. He'd fight giant kaiju-esque monsters, Godzilla. Remember the Godzilla show?
Oh,
we talked
were
about this
talking
on
about
an
that.
episode
The
a
Matthew-
while back with
the one that came after the Matthew Project movie.
Oh, no, we didn't talk about this one. There was another Godzilla cartoon that came out on Fox. That was the fucking Matthew Broderick Godzilla.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Oh man,
not talking
I
about-
remember
I'm not-
the '80s one.
I'm not talking about Godzilla and Friends.
Yeah, I only remember the that '70s
God-
'80s one.
The Godzuki.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Godzuki. Yeah, that's I remember that. I know another one I actually watched a lot was Spider-Man and Friends.
Yeah. Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Firestarter,
Firestorm and Iceman.
Iceman.
I missed out on that. I just remember, I guess around that time after, as I was transitioning out of, like, you know, what we were talking about with Ed, Ed and Eddie and SpongeBob.
Yeah.
It was becoming, like, more Toonami oriented or
Did you
Adult
ever-
Swim oriented. When,
Did you ever watch the Avengers TV show?
I did not.
I didn't.
It was
No.
Avengers West Coast. It was the original story of Wonder Man and Vision.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. And then when that one was on, you had like the Fantastic Four and the Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer had his own cartoon, which was weird.
Yeah, I barely remember that
either.
one.
Yeah, it was WB. WB was weird.
I think WB was like on my bottom tier like channels I go back and forth to. I'd watch WB if I was at my grandma's house or something like that.
Yeah. But after that, after Toonami started doing a lot of the hardcore anime stuff, like Ronin Warriors.
And that's when we're all kind of getting a little older too.
Yeah, I started watching live action television shows.
Nick at Night would do fucking, you know, Cheers and
Oh, I love
shit like
Cheers.
that. I did too.
I watched one episode of Cheers. It's only like fifth episode in season 1. George Wynn about beats a motherfucker to death.
Yeah.
In the back of the bar. And you're like, what the fuck, George Wynn? I thought you were just like, you're Norm. Come on, Norm. And he's just like, he's sexually harassing Shelley Long, so I'm going to bash his fucking head in with the pool ball. Hey, Rita, bring me a beer.
Well, yeah, I think that could wind up being the next one we could do because Cartoon Network didn't do that many live action shows, but
Nickelodeon did.
But Nickelodeon did a ton of live
Yeah.
action, and there was even like some live action ABC and WB stuff. That
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure
you had
we
like
could wind up pulling
TGIF.
up.
Yeah, like Boy Meets World. I loved Home Improvement.
I did
Yeah,
too.
so we could kind of go through that on a separate episode, but it's kind of a little PS to this. The only other shows I could really think of to bring up kind of of skimming through the Nickelodeon era of stuff that y'all kind of dropped out of. See if y'all just ever caught any of these, because I actually enjoyed these. Fairly Odd Parents.
I never watched it, but I knew it was a thing.
Yeah, not for you, Chris.
Too late.
Too late on that one.
The last cartoon I probably watched that I really enjoyed was Samurai Jack.
Oh, okay, got it.
That and the Justice League.
And what about Jimmy Neutron?
That was past my time too.
You what's fucked up? They showed us that like on one of our days off in 7th grade, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I liked it. Everyone shat on that show.
We're watching like Lord of the Rings because that was the shit.
Yeah, that was like the first CGI. That was when like cartoons were becoming more CGI and shit like that.
Yeah, it was off the cusp of like Reboot and Beast Wars and stuff. It got really polished.
And the last one I'll kind of throw out, mainly because it feels like y'all might have Danny Phantom.
Nope.
I know the story.
Okay.
Of Danny Phantom.
Because I was going to say, out of all of these, I feel like y'all would actually have an appreciation of Danny Phantom.
He's like a family of superheroes, kind of.
Yeah.
They all have power. They all have like a Phantom-esque power.
It's more like he's in the family of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't
But
really have powers.
But he has a power of Phantom.
He has the power because he fell into a wormhole kind of thing and then came back out, and now he's got the powers. His folks know, but they basically work as like super duper ghost hunters. They've got like the proton packs basically that can suck up ghosts and shit like that.
Ghostbusters Next Generation. Jesus Christ, that was fucked up.
I didn't watch that one.
That was dark.
Really?
Had a chick. A goth chick.
And I feel like everyone's going to yell at us if I don't at least mention this. I didn't watch it at all, but Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Never watched an episode.
Me neither.
Me neither.
So
But
fuck that show.
I had to mention it because everyone's going to be, what am I saying?
Oh my god, it's the greatest show
it's-
ever, bro.
I just think it's funny because like I talk to guys at work, and a lot of them are younger and a little bit younger than you.
Yeah.
They're like, "You didn't watch Naruto, bro?" And I was just like, "Dude,
That was Mikey's era.
I'm like, first of all, my cartoons had substance.
Back in my day.
Back in my day, our fights took 4 weeks. You piece of shit. You're out here with a villain dying every fucking day.
We stared at each other for 4 episodes straight.
Hey, you know what? It made us patient.
Yeah. Taught me about patience.
We learned about
all
things.
these people lost patience by the time WandaVision fucking came around.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, no shit.
I don't get it.
See, we got spoiled too much these days, y'all. We need our results now. I like my results to pay off hard. You know, like I earned it.
I love picking WandaVision fights on Facebook because it's like I tail into this anyway. I know that like they're gonna pay this off in a big bad way, and that like all these slower episodes you're gonna go back and watch and be like, oh fuck, this seems like so like in my face now kind of thing. People are, oh, it's going so fucking slow. It's gonna be fucking great. And I love picking that fight on Facebook because it's people get so uptight about it, but all I go is I'm just like, hey, I get it. You just don't like the story. And they're like, no. I'm like, no. If you genuinely liked the story, it wouldn't matter how long it took. Like staring at each other for 4 fucking episodes in an animated series.
I think what changed it a lot though is like stuff like Netflix.
Yeah.
Hulu. Oh, here's everything at once. Tell us how you feel, or watch something else. That's everything at once.
Yeah.
Instead of watching week by week, you're watching season by season.
Mm-hmm.
You could watch a whole series in one sitting.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be in what's called a show hole. Mm-hmm. Oh man, it's like kind of like when you read a book.
Yeah.
And you finish the book and you're like looking around like, you
Now
didn't
what do I
experience
do?
what the fuck I just did?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck.
It's just a new way to consume.
But yeah, it's just, and trying to get people to do both, I think is kind of hard.
Yeah.
You know, you got people who, kind of like the Uncle Buck. Oh, I'm quitting smoking, so I dip now. I'm not going to go back to smoking. I got better nicotine now.
Or like Willie Nelson, he's like, I quit smoking weed, but I'm eating it more.
Yeah. But, you know, you can't. It's hard for people to balance out. Like, oh man, I gotta wait next week for the next show. Man, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I bet I can watch all this right now.
And I do have a reason for bringing that up, which is thinking back on all these older shows, the one thing I really enjoyed was the To Be Continued. Because again, I did watch Pokemon as a kid. At the end of every episode it said to be continued. It was a narrative. You tuned in each week and you got the next story, the next bit. And you know what? Ash and their fucking crew may have only barely made it out of the fucking town and into the next town. And the only things that happened is they ran into some fucking, Team Rocket grunts or something trying to, do some fucked up shit to Pokemon. And they've got to take care of that. Boom. Guess what? That was the episode.
Yeah. But
and guess what? As a kid, you were fucking happy to get it because it was your little flashing colors of cartoons and it was still enjoyable.
Did you
different
watch
Pokemon every week.
Did you watch the Pokemon movie?
Yes, I did.
The first one.
I totally did. Like I said, I was hardcore in it as a kid.
How'd you feel when he killed Ash?
That was my childhood heart was not ready for that scene.
Kids in the 80s would feel the same when they killed Optimus Prime in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Because you got crying Pikachu with tears, just like a dog or some shit.
Oh, yeah. And it was just like they built it up big. Ash was going to, sacrifice himself and everything. And he did. But it was still just like, good God.
I think it's like a ball of people who write cartoons. There's like, we got to build these motherfuckers up.
Yep.
And it's like, what did we go to do? What's the pièce de résistance of this? It's like, oh, it's when Fry leaves his dog alone.
You're gonna do what?
You're gonna leave Fry. Fry's gonna be turned to ice and leave his dog behind to play one of the saddest fucking songs in music while his dog slowly fades away and dies.
God damn it!
It's all a cabal to fucking make us feel shit. Instead of making people watch shit like Schindler's List, we're going to use cartoons to make you feel sad.
We need to teach these kids arts.
Yeah. And then one guy,
I reach these kids?
it's like, yeah. But there's like that one guy who's like fucking Ringo from the Beatles is like, I got a show about Digimon. It's like, fuck
God
you.
damn it, Ringo.
Get fucked. I got a song about my guitar crying. It's like, ugh, fag.
It's like, fine, we'll put it on the pile.
Yeah, we'll put it on the pile.
But no,
we'll sell it all to Peter Jackson.
So that is one of the reasons why I am enjoying, this more episodic and, what people could consider to be a slower burn because, I kind of miss that in TV because exactly what you said. You can I wound up watching the entire 2 seasons of The Boys in the span of a weekend.
Dude, I remember being in 5th grade watching Dragon Ball Z on Monday afternoon, going back Tuesday morning and be like, hey, man.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah, because they would do it every day, right?
Yeah, do it every day.
And I'd remember my friends doing that with like Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I didn't watch Power Rangers too much, but it's like I wound up watching a handful of episodes for a while just because it was just like, ooh, they're so excited
when you're a
about
kid
it.
and they show the Power Rangers kicking ass for a good solid 10 episodes, and there's like, oh shit, it's a Green Ranger. Oh fuck, he's fucking them all up. Like, holy shit, he's just one. And he's fucking them up. And it's like, to be continued. What do you mean? He was about to slit the Yellow Ranger's throat. Why the fuck would you stop that? Huh? I need to know if she lives. I'm exaggerating, but that's what he could have fucking done. He could have slit their fucking throats in their sleep because he's the evil Green Ranger. And then they team up and the kaiju get bigger, the fucking Zords change.
It's your stories.
Yeah, it's my stories.
And the one I remember,
it's my stories, son.
I missed the first couple. I wound up picking it up on Dino Thunder.
My last one was Zeo, or no, In Space.
In Space. What? Yeah, I think that was the one after Dino Thunder, wasn't it?
No, this is pre.
That was pre. Oh, or the one before. I remember it being.
Yeah, it's probably the one
tail
before.
to it.
Because I remember they cut down on the number of Rangers.
Yeah,
it was like 5. Now it's 3.
Yeah,
I was still watching it when it was 5. Dino Thunder had a decent amount.
They would change it up. They would start with 3 and end up with 5.
Got it. Okay.
I remember the live action Ninja Turtle show that came with the Power Rangers.
I don't remember
and they
that.
had a female character called what was her name?
That's not her name.
That's not my name.
Nah.
That's not my name.
Fuck, that's not my name.
Fuck.
Oh fuck. I forget her name, but she was a female Ninja Turtle. Her band was like light blue.
Yeah.
But yeah, they teamed up with the Power Rangers in one episode. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? I'm fucking stoked. Obviously.
Well, as we wrap this one up, and as Cap is looking up his little trivia piece, what would you guys say is probably the cartoon that you remember most fondly? out of kind of all of them that we've talked about. Like,
Fondly or fondled me?
Where did it touch you?
where did the
touch
cartoon touch you,
I need
Chris?
to touch these kids.
Good question, though.
But yeah, but like the one where it's like if you're trying to like put yourself in nostalgic childhood view, what's like kind of the cartoon that kind of pops in your head?
Probably Doug.
Doug?
I like Doug. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I got really attached to that anime shit.
Yeah.
Like, later on, so I guess it's probably like a tie between Gundam Wing and Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
For me, Dragon Ball Z is weird for me. As much as I like the story and everything, just seeing how like folks my age still haven't, are still keeping up with it like they did back in the day is, it's cool. It's part of it's cool, but part of it's kind of like, really? All right.
Like, I could go back and watch Gundam Wing. Mm-hmm. Dragon Ball Z would be a little harder to watch now.
Yeah.
Just because
I would like
I would be hitting the
You have to pick and
the
choose.
15-second skip. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Fight.
You have to pick and choose moments with shit
And
like
all
that.
half the time it's just Krillin dying.
There's a YouTube series where they made fun of it all, and where a couple of guys on the internet just redubbed all the ridiculously of it, called Team 4-Star. It kind of made the series a little bit more enjoyable that way.
Yeah.
And for me, as much as I was a cartoon, as much as I was like a Nickelodeon kid, like I remember watching more Nickelodeon. When I put myself in try to imagine.
When it came to, I will say Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network or Toonami, whatever, are two separate things. So I would say my favorite show out of Nickelodeon would have to be Hey Arnold.
Yeah.
I loved Hey Arnold.
I loved it too.
And that's the thing is I remember liking all those shows, but the ones I would get excited for, I'd have to say Ed, Edd n Eddy or Johnny Bravo. I remember honestly getting excited when I would flip through the channels and I would hear that the Ed, Edd n Eddy little whistle theme song. I was like, oh, Ed, Edd n Eddy's on. It's like, no matter, it's like if I was just kind of flipping through to, put like background cartoons on as I'm playing with my action figures or whatever, it was like, boom, I don't give a fuck about the action figures now. I'm Ed, Edd n Eddy's on. That was that kind of shit.
That had a pretty little hooky theme song, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Same thing with Johnny Bravo, because they didn't play Johnny Bravo a lot.
No, because people were like, look away.
So it's like when it did come on, I was like, oh shit, it's
As a
Johnny
womanizing
Bravo.
adult sexually harassing women. So yeah, I can see why they didn't want to.
But no, we'll definitely come back to this and cover some of the live action sitcoms and stuff like that we also enjoyed as a kid.
Even like just regular sitcoms that don't like Nickelodeon. Stuff we saw like Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
That's what I'm saying, because even part of that was Nick at Night when it went into syndication.
Home Improvement,
Home
Roseanne.
Improvement. I didn't watch Roseanne.
I loved Roseanne. I loved watching that show. John Goodman was my shit.
Yeah, so now we'll talk next episode. We'll talk about, or next time we do one of these, we'll talk about childhood sitcoms. I think that'll definitely
That
be
sounds
fun.
like fun to me.
Fuck yeah! Well, on this episode of the Couch Potatoes, I've been Alex.
This is Cap.
Do you have any final thoughts for us, Chris?
Nostalgia's a mean bitch, man. It is. It makes me feel old as fuck.
Yeah.
I know, especially when we was going through
Like
those
when
and
I
looking
said
at the years.
1996, I was like, fuck. That's a long time ago, brother. That's 24 fucking years ago.
It doesn't feel it,
Oh,
though,
yeah.
does it?
We got a gorilla for sale, McGill a gorilla for sale. We got a gorilla for sale, McGill a gorilla for sale. We got a gorilla for sale, McGill a gorilla for sale. Won't ya buy him, take him, try him. We got a gorilla for sale, McGill a gorilla for sale. We got a gorilla for sale, McGill a gorilla for sale. We got a gorilla for sale, McGill a gorilla for sale. Don't you want a gorilla you could call your own? A little gorilla be with you when you're all alone. We got a gorilla for sale, McGill a gorilla for sale. We got a gorilla for sale, McGill a gorilla for sale. Don't you call him a monkey, he don't got no tail. And if he did, then McGilla the monkey would be for sale. With shoes on his feet, suspenders, and a hat on his head. There's not much about our dear little gorilla that hasn't been said. We got a gorilla for sale, McGilla gorilla for sale. We got a gorilla for sale, McGilla gorilla for sale. We got a gorilla for sale, McGilla gorilla for sale. Except for Mr. Peebles, he don't like primates. McGilla gorilla just isn't a mammal with whom he relates. He'll sell you a cat or a dog or a bird or a tiny goldfish. But down deep beside Mr. Peebles, he's got himself only one wish, saying, we got a gorilla for sale, McGilla gorilla for sale. We got a gorilla for sale, McGilla gorilla for sale. We got a gorilla for sale, McGilla gorilla for sale. There's a girl called OG and she wants to buy a little gorilla from Peebles, he ain't asking why. Just get that thing out my window, you can hear him cry, but she's got no money. Mr. Peebles almost died, saying, we got a gorilla for sale, Magilla gorilla for sale. We got a gorilla for sale, Magilla gorilla for sale. Won't you buy him, I take him, try him. We got a gorilla for sale, Magilla gorilla for sale. Won't you got a gorilla for sale, Magilla gorilla for sale. We got a gorilla for sale, Magilla gorilla for sale. We got a gorilla for sale, Magilla gorilla for sale. We got a gorilla for sale, Magilla gorilla for sale.